So yeah guys, today I'm gonna show you how to make an obby inside of Roblox Studio from scratch. Let's get into it. Let's start by choosing the base plate template. You don't want anything else. So we'll just start like this. And first off, if we just play the game, we're gonna spawn in on this spawn pad. Well, there's nothing to do, you can walk around the default Roblox movement. But first off, what we're gonna do, you have the Explorer open here that you can find in the window tab here. You can press window and then Explorer to open, close it. You want that open. Then it should be somewhere around here. You want to find workspace. Actually, click the plus. Then search or click the folder here. This folder we're gonna name kill bricks, because one thing almost every obby has is kill bricks. Inside of that, we're gonna put a plus on the folder there. Search for a port. And now we have a part inside of a folder. We can drag that part to where we want it. Or we can press 2, or press the button up here to take the move tool and move it like that in any of the 4 directions. We're gonna press brick color here, which is, let's just select color like this. I'm just gonna pick a red here, like that. And I'm just gonna switch the material here to neon to make it more clear that it's a kill brick. And maybe click here and change the color a little bit, make it a little bit more bright, like that. Kinda like that. I'm gonna click the plus on the folder again, because if we play right now, this doesn't work. For that we need code, so we're gonna click on plus here, and insert a script. We're gonna remove the print hello world because we don't need that. Select that and press backspace. We're gonna write local to identify a variable. And now we can write whatever you want. But I'm gonna do folder because we're gonna reference the folder. Equals script dot parent like that. Exactly like that. And what this is gonna reference is the script here. Script. And its parent, which is whatever it's inside. So if I drag it to the port, the folder here would be the port. We're gonna keep that inside the folder. And then we're gonna do a for I. The I doesn't really matter. That can be like underscore a y a, but I prefer y. I'm gonna do port. Well, port can also be whatever. It's the name of the object. We're gonna get in pairs folder this thing and get children. Go out here, we type nothing in the parentheses, space, and then do. Then if you just press enter, and it should appear here. And basically what this do for I part in pairs, it loops through a table, which you might not know what that is, that's fine. In folder get children returns in table, or fold the children of the folder, which right now is the port and the script. But if we were to go ahead and click here, right click on the port and duplicate, get another one. Move that one over there. And that will be the script, port, and port. And we want the player to die when stepping on this part. They should take damage or die. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna check if the port is actually the port, because it's gonna break if we try killing the player when this the script. And if port is a like that. Actually how I spelled it, and then should do port here. I prefer to use base port because that includes mesh ports and other stuff. For example, if you have a model that you want to be the kill break, there's also included in mesh ports, also included and some other stuff. But if you're using ports, you could replace this with ports like this, and it would still work the same in this case. But I'm gonna use base part. And now we're gonna check when you actually touch this part. But if we do print here, print the part, we're gonna see if is that it prints part twice. Right, but now we actually want you to die when touching this part. We're gonna delete that print. It's not actually needed. Say part dot touched connect. Because touched is an event. And we connect that into a function right here because we don't have a function. We create a new one right here. And basically that's gonna be when something touches the part, this new function gets called, right? But we have to make sure whatever touches is actually a player. And how do we do that? Well, we can actually write something in here like hit, and the first parameter of this function is gonna be whatever touched it. But we can't just say if hit is like character because character isn't a specific class type. It's just the character is just a model, and the character doesn't touch it. The part of the player that actually touches it, like the part inside of the character, that is the hit. We're gonna do local character equals hit dot parent, and this character could be like, for example, the Killbreak folder if another Killbreak touched another Killbreak, right? But in the case where a player touches it, it's gonna be the character. We're gonna check if there is a character in case it's something without a parent. Make sure if character, then that makes sure the character actually exists, which isn't necessary, but we're doing it anyways. Then we're doing local humanoid or something else. I'm using the humanoid here, character. So the humanoid is the character. Then find first child, like that. Humanoid. Because every player or character has a humanoid, and normal models usually don't. And the find first child here, it's basically works like typing dot. Dot humanoid would also reference the humanoid. For example, if you typed it like this, it would also reference the humanoid. But the reason we're using find first child is because dot breaks if there isn't a humanoid, which in many cases there's not going to be a humanoid. But if we're using find first child, it just returns nil instead. We're gonna do if humanoid, then same as with the character to make sure it exists. And then we can do like humanoid.help equals 0. And now each and every kill break is going to kill you. That, then if we try the other one, that also works. Great. So whatever part we put into this folder, it doesn't have to be exactly this part. It can be another color, it can be whatever you want it to be. They're all going to kill you. Right? But right now, they instantly kill you. So instead of saying humanoid.health equals 0, there's actually we could just take away like humanoid.health equals humanoid.health minus 10. They'll take 10 damage. But there's actually a better way to do this inside of Roblox because there's a take damage function that exists on every humanoid. If we type like 100, players will still get 1 shot, but if we type 5, the player's only gonna take 5 damage, but they're gonna take damage a lot. And to make sure this parts doesn't move, let's select them by clicking and then shift clicking the other ones. And pressing the anchor button up here. Just torque like that. And that basically means you can't push these around, and they're not affected by physics. Stuff like that. Which is something we want for this obby game. We can modify this other like 15. and it will do more damage. But it still does damage like really fast because you actually touch the part a lot. Touch event fires a lot. When you're just like walking on it, it keeps firing over and over. So what we could do, this is optional by the way. You can skip to another next part of the video if you don't want this. But that's a cooldown. What I'm gonna do, first we have to know if it is on cooldown. Is on cooldown, I'm gonna make a variable. And we're gonna set that to false because it's not gonna be on cooldown immediately. Then what we'll do in here is say if is on cooldown equals false. We use two equals in an if statement. It's really important. And if we press then, we get an end. But this, we have to make sure that's inside of it. So I'm gonna drag the selected, Control C to copy it, like here, Control V to paste it. That. But the cooldown still always false, so this isn't gonna do anything. So we'll set it to true in here. This on cooldown equals true. And then we could say wait, for example, like 0.1. But this is actually inefficient. So instead we'll use test.wait because it's a little bit more optimized and better for this scenario. Then we do is on cooldown equals false. Delete that space there. A little better. And now if we increase that like 0.25, we're now not gonna take damage over and over again. We're gonna take damage quickly, but we could wanted to increase that like a 0.7 for a full second. Then it's gonna be way more noticeable that we don't take damage a lot. Like this, so you take damage once, walk over it. It's a cooldown for when you can take damage. So now we have a basic kill break. We can spawn how many we want of. So now I'm going to click the base plate here. You can't actually click it here because by default Roblox locks it. But I'm actually gonna delete that. You're gonna press the port button that just inserts a port into the workspace. This doesn't have to be in any folder because I'm not gonna make this a kill break. Now move this with the move tool. Then if we press 3 or the scale button up here, and scale this like that. Move it down one more maybe. Like that. Scale this like that. Then I'm gonna scale this part like this. Make ourselves a little basic stage. That. You can even take this. And for example, let's say you didn't want this texture. You can open it, remove the decal like that. Make it a little bit brighter. Make it green to symbolize that it's a checkpoint maybe. Color here, you can choose very precisely. I like the brick color. That this is like that. We could resize the spawn pad. Then right now if we want to make this thinner, we can't because the move is set to 1. So we decrease that to 0.5. And then we can scale it down even more, or an even lower value if we wanted, like 0.1. Like that. Pretty good. We can set it back to 1 if we want to. Again, this guy, spawn location is a spawn location object. Its class is a spawn location. It's just gonna work like a spawn location in either way. But the floor is going to fall. This is a really common problem because we haven't clicked the anchor button I showed earlier. Now that it's anchored, can jump across, complete this little stage. Maybe we should extend the platform a little long. But that's generally it. That's it for this video. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2, where I'm gonna be making a checkpoint system. So stay tuned for that, subscribe, and see you all in the next one.